back, everyone, to the Suit Yourself Podcast, part of the Fringe First Media Network. My name is Austin. I'm co-host number 1, joined tonight with fellow co-host number 2,
Brandon.
I would like to welcome everyone back. I would also like to apologize for the rocky intros we've had on the last couple shows. I have had the last couple shows. Ever since I declared my name as co-host number 1, I have just been in shambles ever since. It's been a rough couple weeks here. It's
got the yips.
We thought that after 2020 ended that
everything will go back to
greener
normal.
pastures, as they say. But no,
apparently not.
There's a plague and famine await us here as well. Today is 1/18/2021, the second potential year of terrible. Fingers crossed. We'd like to welcome everyone back. Today we're going to be recapping Week 2 of the NFL playoffs, as well as doing a little preview for the championship round coming up this weekend. Very excited as well. I am a Packers fan. Brandon is a Bills fan. My girlfriend is a Chiefs fan, and so there's actually been a surprising amount of winning going on here.
And my father is a Tom Brady fan.
Yeah, he's a Brady fan. So oddly enough, I mean, it's kind of strange that everybody's kind of winning. So I just want to say that I do feel a lot better about the Packers than I did last year. I know they played in the championship game as well, but I think everybody with a pulse knew that the Niners were going to obliterate them, which they did. I want to say Aaron Rodgers he's lost his last 3 NFC championship games.
Hate hearing
and
that.
I don't believe he's been favored in a single one.
Is he favored in this one?
I think so, but I haven't seen the line. I mean, I'd have to think, because I remember the championship odds for the Bucs are still, I think, plus 400, or the Super Bowl odds. And I think the Packers are 250 or something. So
okay.
Yeah, so I'd imagine that they will be. But that being said, let's jump into the weekend. I actually had a chance. I think we watched every single game.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun. With Red Zone, you usually in a normal regular season you don't end up seeing half the games, and we work regular jobs, and so it's hard to go back and watch every single game time wise. So it's kind of nice to see every single game. Like I said, it was a good week. Good weekend. Let's start with our Chiefs-Packer game.
Rams-Packer?
Rams-Packer game. Goodness gracious. So this game was a little weird. You kind of want to give the Rams a little bit of a pass. They were out. Cooper Kupp, Jared Goff was hurt. Aaron Donald's obviously playing on half a rib, whatever you want to. He's going all Drew Brees out there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that they fought valiantly. They never really felt close. They got it to within 7 at one point.
That was hard to watch.
I should mention the Rams did lose 18-32. But yeah, it was not a very good looking game. Not a pretty game by any stretch. Cam Akers is looking nice though.
Yeah.
I think we can all say from a fantasy perspective, we're very excited about Cam Akers next year.
Yeah, I was very excited about him this year, and that didn't work out. But
if you have him in Dynasty, that's a nice end of the year. For sure.
I don't. But yeah, he's definitely one of the better rookie running backs out there, it would seem, in a good situation as well.
One thing that's interesting, I know this has nothing to do with the game recap, but I read an article today from a verified source. This was not a fake account situation, like good. So many have been hit by in the last couple weeks, that said that Goff and the head coach there, McVay, need what they call, quote-unquote, marriage counseling, like extreme marriage counseling. So it sounds like things are not 100% there. The play calling for the Rams was pretty in my opinion. They played very conservatively. I mean, I just don't have much to say about the Rams. They didn't look very good on offense or defense. The Packers, on the other hand, I thought they came out and looked real strong. Did you agree with that? Or
yeah, anytime you go up against the number 1 ranked defense and put up 32 points, you have a good game. Aaron Rodgers was sharp. The running game was fine. And
I think most people would even agree that Rodgers didn't play overly well.
No, I mean, Marcus Valdes-Scantling even dropped a couple balls. So it was
Alan Lazard had a really bad drop too. That could have been another touchdown. But Rodgers 23 for 36, 296 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones, he did have 14 for 99 and a touch. He also had the mega run too. Mm-hmm. I think he had a 60-yard run in there or something close to that. Jamal Williams 12 for 65. A.J. Dillon did get hurt in this game, but he was able to go 6 for 27 before that. It's also crazy that Alan Lazard led the team in rushes. Obviously not in receiving, but he did lead. I mean, I've been kind of surprised recently.
Targets, right?
Targets, excuse me. No. Devontae had 9 receptions. Alan Lazard had 4.
You said rushes.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm falling apart here as we speak. Tanyan and Scantling did have 4 as well. So, I mean, they really worked the ball around a lot. Believe it or not, I've been impressed with the Packers receiving core. For the names on the team, it plays a lot better than you'd think, and I know it helps having Aaron Rodgers there. But Tanyan's electric. Every time he catches the ball, no matter what situation, no matter if he gets the first down or not, he is yelling and shaking and putting on a WWE routine. So
Do you like that?
I do like that, actually. It's okay from a fullback or for a tight end. Like, I always get annoyed when the receiver gets like a 5-yard catch.
Oh, every time Antonio Brown touches the ball.
It just has like a meltdown.
Yeah.
If it's some big tight end, like I'm kind of cool with I don't know why. I'm just kind of cool with it. But
need some more of that of Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, Tyler Higbee. But yeah, I know we didn't mention the passing attack too much for the Rams. Robert Woods led the team with 8 receptions, but Josh Reynolds had the most yards. Van Jefferson had the touchdown, so take from that as you will. Not too much to say there. Any other thoughts on that?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I think the Rams
We're very over.
they're in a weird spot, especially with the cap hell that they're in. I don't really know what they can do. Do you see them as being an elite team with this current roster
It's
going
tough
forward?
because Jared Goff isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. Is he incredible? No, but he's not bad. Their receiving options aren't bad either. They're pretty good. Excuse me. And their running game seems to be good, and their defense is very good. So the fact that they are unable to win is a little baffling. I mean, I know they had 10 wins, but I don't know. Like, they're a team who I could see get hot, but it's just I don't know what's wrong with them.
I am a little confused what's going on with Goff. I feel like he's on such a leash because McVay calls the plays.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he makes him do a lot of easy stuff. So I'm interested to see if he's actually that. If he had more free reign, if he would actually be better or not. Because I think it's pretty scripted what they're doing. So, I know that doesn't have a lot of doesn't have much to do with the recap, but interesting thoughts moving forward.
Very interesting.
We will jump over to the next game. I know that was obviously I'm the Packer fan, so I probably talked way too much about the Packers there. So I'll give you a chance to talk too much about the Bills.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who won this game?
The Buffalo Bills did.
What was the score?
It was 17-3.
Wait, the current MVP of the league only was able to muster 3 points in a playoff game?
He mustered 3 points for his team,
What?
and he gave the Bills 7 points.
So 10 total points?
Yeah.
A little better.
He had 162 yards for the Baltimore Ravens, and he had 101 yards for the Buffalo Bills, so shout out to him for that one.
Did he have any passing touchdowns?
No, he didn't. He actually
Outside of the pick six?
He actually had a really bad pick 6 in the red zone, which totally turned the game around. He looked very bad, and I'm not saying Josh Allen looked incredible. Both teams are obviously keyed in on the quarterbacks, but that being said, Lamar Jackson just didn't do anything. I know he had a concussion, and obviously he had 3/4 of a game to do this, but if you lead your team to 3 points through 3.5 quarters, you're not going to get a win in any playoffs.
Yeah, and under 200 total yards is even more, because he's usually bailing you out with 100-something rushing. But.
And not only that, 51 of his 162 yards, so about a third of them, went to the one running back alone, which they're all behind the line of scrimmage for him. So he really didn't do anything. He looked really off and just bad.
I was hearing, because I listened to a lot of podcasts at work, and there were still a lot of people giving him a pass. Like, they were doing the thing where I think everybody at least is on board with they call him an elite playmaker, not an elite passer or quarterback.
If you call him an elite passer, you're an idiot.
Well, yeah.
First off.
Well, they keep saying he needs more weapons while ignoring the fact that they have a good running back.
Yeah, they have great
an
running
elite
back.
tight end. I'm still going to say Hollywood Brown is not a scrub.
No.
And they have an elite defense. So,
sure. Could they use a better wide receiver too? Yeah.
I mean,
that's it. Like, what more do you want to give the guy?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have a lot to work with. Like
his lack of weapons through that pick 6.
Well, and I'm not saying you just see a lot of good quarterbacks have about the same offensive weapons and they don't get a pass for it. So It's just kind of
because Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. He just seems like the kind of guy that when defenses show up and when they're elite defenses and they're not garbage teams showing up anymore, that they're able to stop him pretty easily.
No, we said this a million times. As long as you don't play like an idiot, you have a good shot at beating him.
And I still think that Tennessee was really overrated and their defense was abysmal. So.
Like, here's an idea. Let's not turn the ball over 5 times inside the 50-yard line. And voila.
Well, yeah, that's half their points it was always the defense.
Get turnover on the 30 and we got a 20-yard drive and we got a field goal.
It's like, Tom Brady special, which we'll get to.
Bills still can't run the ball. There is nothing new there. But so far they haven't had to move the ball.
Are you worried about that moving forward?
No, they're not going to have
especially against the Chiefs though.
No, because
you want to eat clock against the Chiefs.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they'll probably be down enough to make a comeback win, and they won't be able to do that running the ball. Their running is just terrible. It's probably the worst.
It is remarkable that they've been doing so well with such a little production from the run game.
Like literally, it's non-existent.
They almost remind me a little bit of the Packers back when they had Eddie Lacy. They had like elite. Eddie Lacy wasn't running. He was playing pretty well, but what I mean is they had so many good receiving options that they were just getting 1,000,000 yards kind of in every place.
Yeah.
It was weird for Baltimore. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins both had 10 carries for 42 yards apiece.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why Gus Johnson keeps getting so much
Gus
Edwards, excuse me. Shout out to Gus Johnson. But he still keeps getting a lot of work. I mean, granted, they had the exact same efficiency.
That makes me a little leery of Dobbins for next season from a fantasy perspective. A little bit.
Maybe. Between
Edwards and Lamar, that's like a lot of touches gone.
Not only that, Dez Bryant made an appearance. He went into the game, dropped the ball, and then yelled at the refs for a pass interference call, and that's all he did for the whole game. It seemed fitting. All this was also done with Cole Beasley having 0 catches, which is...
Well, he was major banged up, too.
He was, yeah.
They were surprised kind of he was playing.
And Gabriel Davis didn't do much either, which... Usually he does more.
Didn't he... I thought he had an end zone target.
He did.
I can't remember what happened. I thought he had a nice attempt or something. It's hard to remember all of it, but...
Dawson Knox did not drop a pass.
Oh.
Yeah, progress.
There we go. But yeah, I mean, it was nice to see Stephon and John Brown both back at it again. 8 receptions apiece, 106 and a touchdown for Diggs. So it's not that we're worried about their ability to score points. I just, it's tough because you feel like with the Chiefs, one misstep and could be a lot worse. But Baltimore does have a very good defense, and the fact that they were still able to put up decent points. Well, I mean, 10 points. 10 offensive points. It was a pretty rough day for them, but they're still able to win by 14. Which it's still good when you haven't played your best football and you're beating pretty good teams.
Yeah. We brought up the Chiefs earlier. How about the Browns-Chiefs?
Browns-Chiefs. So I think this game... Okay. So if Mahomes wouldn't have gotten hurt, I was going to say this is exactly the game we thought it was going to be. The Browns overpowered, outmatched the entire game. Mm-hmm. The Browns did lose 17-22. I don't know why I keep saying the loser and not the winner. They lost by 5. And what should have been, I mean, they honestly should have came back or had the opportunity to come back. They lost by the Chiefs kneeling the ball. They had a good opportunity to go for it, I believe, in the fourth quarter, and they didn't.
No.
And then
when you're going against teams like this, you have to. Like, you're the underdog. You have to take a chance. No, you're not going to beat them straight up.
And I don't mean this to sound like that guy, but especially when you're the Browns.
Yeah. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, you do that when
you're the Browns.
If you haven't made the playoffs in 1,000,000 years, you do that kind of stuff because why not?
Yeah, you have nothing. You're literally nothing.
You're over. You know what I mean? You're already ahead of schedule anyway. So, but it's really tough pill to swallow for Browns fans. When Chad Henne comes in and you have I believe it was 3rd and 18, and you let a 34-year-old quarterback who had never had a playoff snap rush for 17 of those and then throw for the first down on 4th down for the win, like that's just rough.
Yeah, you hate seeing that.
But it really sucks that they were on the full roller coaster. It was like, we suck. Oh, a chance. Okay, no.
Yeah, we suck again.
And then I know everybody's going to talk about the hit that happened on or the fumble that occurred on the goal line there. That was the touchback, which that definitely could have swung the game quite a bit. I personally didn't think too much into that. I know, because it was the helmet the guy led with the crown of his helmet. It should have been a fumble, but I don't know. I still hold that rule. I like the rule. What do you have an opinion on the rule? Everybody had a hot take on the rule today.
I don't know.
I personally like it because, it's pretty easy. Don't fumble through the end zone. Mm-hmm. But also, that rule exists because that's like what happens if anybody fumbles through the end zone. Like I don't know. People are like, oh, they should get the ball at their own 30 or, you know what I mean? Just insert the blank, but I don't know.
That's interesting. I'm not sure.
I kind of like it how it is. But
an interesting thing also was the running game on the Chiefs, which might be something to moving forward, might be interesting, at least for next week. Williams had 13 carries to Le'Veon Bell's 2, which I'm sure surprised many people. But anybody who knows anything knows that Williams is probably better than Le'Veon Bell, so this is much of a surprise. But it's just, I know Edwards should be back next week, but I could still see Williams being effective.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty split up. I wouldn't want to put any bets on them.
No.
Yeah, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, bet on Tyreek Hill first touchdown, or not Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce first touchdown scorer, and he scored the second one. I'm still sick about that.
Yeah, but the run games look decent for both teams.
Chubb especially second half.
Chubb 13 for 69.
Nice.
Kareem Hunt always gets the touchdown,
Every time.
He's a touchdown machine. I actually like the Browns quite a bit going into next year. I think Baker proved enough to me.
Yeah,
that
not bad.
He's not, obviously, nobody I don't think is saying this. He's not an elite option, but he's not a complete train wreck like I was thinking he was.
PFF, I think it was the last 12 weeks or since OBJ left, he was, I think, the 8th highest graded quarterback. It's a fun fact.
A little bit of the free money news. Travis Kelce to score a touchdown and go over 100 yards is essentially free money every week. If you can parlay both of those.
I might have that in the section.
Well, he literally he goes nuts. Yeah, I think the people, you never have issued an apology, but I don't know if anybody wants to hear your free bets after what happened last week.
We'll be talking about free money next.
There is no
next
free money
Wednesday.
handed out.
Oh, there was one.
And I apologize if I spoke incorrectly about the Chad Henne run. I thought it was 17, but
It was 13 or 17.
yeah, he said it. I mean, it says he was 2 for 12 on the box score. So
Probably.
if it was a 3rd and 13, then I apologize. I was having a little trouble remembering. So, but I will say about the Chiefs though, they have not flipped the switch.
No.
This whole time
They look lackadaisical every time.
I have been assuming. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to wonder if there just isn't a switch to flip.
Yeah, maybe they just burnt out.
It almost seems to me that the only way they can flip a switch is
So they get down a zillion
it's
points.
like the fighter just kind of dicking around until he gets like a really good one to the face, and then you're like, okay, I'm mad now. And they haven't ever got down. So
yeah,
I think if a team came out and put 10 on them, I would be
Get 'em,
immediately.
Bills.
Oh, if the Bills go up 10-0, I'm immediately putting the house on the Chiefs to come back.
that's cruel.
But what do you
cruel.
blame me?
Yes.
I think all they need is a punch to the face, and they're going to be right back.
But the Bills will be able to bleed them out with that elite run game.
I did hear, I did hear rumors on the last thing about this game. I did hear rumors that Mahomes was not concussed.
Then what was it?
I heard
the man literally was stumbling around.
A report I saw was that something, because I believe upon further review by everybody in general, nobody thinks his head actually hit the ground at any point.
Which is why I was so confused.
What they thought happened was he pinched like a nerve in his neck, and it got him all like. So he went into the concussion protocol, but I think you're not allowed to come out of it once you go into it. But I'm pretty sure he cleared the concussion protocol, and he had a stinger. It must have been a pretty bad one because stingers don't usually make you lose your legs.
Legs give out.
Again, this is speculation, but it was verified accounts suggesting this and that it was not a concussion. This is not Jay Glazer's report either of getting choked out. Shout out Jay Glazer. Okay, that being said, that game was really intense though. I was getting really hyped that last couple minutes of that.
Yeah, it at least was a fun game.
That was one of the bigger adrenaline games I've had in a while.
Speaking of fun games, the next game wasn't fun.
Yeah. It's like,
Because neither team and or quarterback showed up to play, really. And I know you might say, 30 points, Brandon. What are you talking about? Tom Brady did not look sharp. Drew Brees did not look sharp. The sharpest quarterback in the game was Jameis Winston.
Well, and everybody kept talking about this game the two, OGs battling it out. It was something I need to be excited for.
Oh, yeah, two old guys going at
it. It's two guys that aren't maybe Tom is half of what he used to be, but two guys much past their prime.
And not only that,
fighting it out.
I keep seeing headline after headline after headline be like, Tom Brady does it again. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay savior. Tampa Bay, this, that, and the other thing.
He didn't have a whole lot to do with what was going on.
They won in spite of that, man. He threw 3 balls that should have been intercepted and were dropped. So he got lucky there. Didn't throw for 200 yards. Meanwhile, Drew Brees throws for 134 yards on 34 passes, which is horrible. While also throwing 3 late game picks. Tom Brady just didn't have to do worse than that, and they were going to win. It's one of those things where I see a lot of praise for him, and good for him, he won, but it wasn't because of him.
Yeah, he didn't look overly good this game. As a Packer fan, so I actually feel as I've been mentioning the past couple weeks, I've been a little nervous as they obviously destroyed the Packers the first time they played. Well, that's always in your head. After seeing Tampa recently, and I know they're supposedly have a chance of getting one of their really good players back from IR this week. He's off the list, but they don't know for sure if he's going to play. If he does, how much he will play. But from what I've seen out of them, Tom's just not looking very sharp. Nobody really looks on the same page. There's a lot of turnover-worthy plays. Everybody's giving Leonard Fournette a lot of credit. Playoff Lenny, he did look pretty good. I mean, for him, but I think people forget he was averaging 3.7 yards a carry. It's not like he
it wasn't
was crushing it out there. Ronald Jones, you're still a little worried about him, 13 for 62, so he looked a little better on a per carry basis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably more scared of the run game at this point than I am the pass game. Packers do have some decent secondary members, and so
we had 44 yards went to the to Leonard Fournette as well, so that's part of the running game. But without him throwing to him alone, Tom Brady had 150 yards.
Well, and part of it too is, they gave up. And I know it's not very many, but they gave up 20 points
to a bad offense.
Well, to a team
three
with
turnovers at the
three
end.
Interceptions. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little wild. Alvin Kamara looked good, but it clearly wasn't enough to get it done. I'm not half as nervous about Tampa as I was a couple weeks ago.
And everyone always talks about the receivers. Those three combined for 47 yards.
Yeah, and there was something
that's nothing.
It looked like AB
Antonio
might be hurt.
Yeah, he might be hurt, and
I don't know. They just didn't look very impressive, and I just don't think. They beat Washington. They beat a Saints team. I just don't think they have enough to get it. To beat the Packers.
Whoever wins this game, and obviously more so the Packers because the Bucs have to go through them. But if the Packers win, they probably have the easiest road I've ever seen to a Super Bowl.
The Packers,
the Rams, and then this Tampa Bay team.
Well, I think more so the argument would just be that there aren't that many good NFC teams.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Because
it's not their fault.
No, but even if the Bucs do it, they beat this Saints team in Washington. Obviously, they have to beat the Packers, who's a good team, so they have to beat one good team to get there. But the Packers could arguably make the Super Bowl without beating a good team.
The NFC had some very strange quarterback stuff going on.
Yeah, it's a bunch of old
Brady's
guys.
old. Drew's old. Jared Goff is hurt and
He's got busted up thumb, and then Heineke had to come in last week.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bad play.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is probably the only and maybe Tom Brady, the guys that you'd probably want on your team right now on the NFC side. Obviously Russell Wilson, but that team was just not right the last, however many weeks of the season. So it's been kind of a weird year for quarterback on that side. Obviously the AFC has a little better quarterback play going on, but
I'm just saying this because obviously I watched both the games. I'd say Indianapolis is just as good as this Tampa Bay team, and I'd say the Ravens are better. So I feel like there's even teams that are losing before this stage of the playoffs in the AFC are probably better than these guys.
I don't know. I think that would have been a good game. Ravens Tampa.
I think Ravens could get them at full health, but that's just speculation. We have no way of knowing.
Yeah, I don't know. It always just depends which Tampa team shows up.
It was just unimpressive. This one put up 30 points and it wasn't impressive. That's the worst part.
Yeah, The last month or so here, I've been really down on Tampa and up on the Packers, if that makes sense. So I think that
I should put every cent I have in my betting account into the Packers.
I feel a little better that the Packers also
had no trouble taking on the Rams. I know the Rams aren't very good, but the Saints clearly weren't very good.
Well, no,
either.
this is really stupid and makes no sense. I kind of like that the Packers lost to them already because it always feels so much harder to beat teams multiple times. So and that's completely stupid, and I shouldn't say that, and it makes no sense, but.
And I've never seen a team only win by 10 when they have 3 turnovers to 0, or they force 3 turnovers to 0, and they win by 10. I don't know. It feels like they did the bare minimum to get a win.
Yeah, it's definitely not very good. I'm expecting it to be a good game, but especially at Lambeau and how the Packers are playing, I'm expecting some good stuff there.
I'm expecting the Packers win.